Okay, um, it's been a while since we've done a cooking video for the blog, so Paul thought, being that it's Super Bowl Sunday, yay, go Broncos, got my Bronco t-shirt on, that I should do some Super Bowl food for us plant-based people. And I am going to make tempeh sloppy joes, and I will show you what's all in here so you can see. Alrighty, what we have, it's you need a 1 cup water divided, 1 small onion, 1 green bell pepper, 8-ounce package of tempeh, and I got this kind here, this West Soy from Natural Grocers, and 8-ounce tomato sauce, and I couldn't find an organic 8-ounce, so I got the 15-ounce City Market brand, so I will just use about half of that. Then we have 2 tablespoons ketchup, 1 tablespoon agave nectar, and again, I like to use maple syrup for sweeteners, so I'm going to use maple syrup, pure maple syrup that I have. 1 tablespoon vegan Worcestershire sauce, and I'm going to use the Annie's organic version. 2 teaspoons mustard, and then some garlic powder, ½ teaspoon, so I just kind of guess on that, and then some hamburger buns. All right, so I'm going to get started. I have already chopped up some stuff to make it not take as long. So here we go. There's my pan. So to start, we need a ½ cup of water. So I kind of guess. And now this recipe is actually from the Physicians Committee, and I also, instead of using oil, I always use water to saute. It does exactly the same thing as oil, only you have less calories, and it works just the same. It may not go as fast, but it works. Less calories and less oil. I love it. Okay, so I'd already chopped those up to make it cut down on the prep time here. So then now I'm just gonna saute these up. Just a couple minutes. Oops. Okay, just do that now. I am excited for the Broncos to win the Super Bowl. I hope they do. It'll be so much fun if they do. So go Broncos, yay! And now, one of the things people probably wonder about, when you're on a plant-based diet, how do you have Super Bowl food? But this is one way. Tempeh sloppy joes. Actually, I have not made this recipe. This will be the first time for us, but it sounds really good, and I'm sure it's gonna be tasty. Just keep going with that while I'm waiting. Today is Sunday, and I like to check out Oprah's Super Soul Sunday, and she had this guy. His name is Michael Pollan. He's a writer, journalist, activist, I guess, and he's put out some food books. And he was talking about, just the conscious relationship we have with food, and just how it's so consuming. It's such a giant part of our lives. We have to have it to survive, and most people eat at least three meals a day, and a lot of us don't even think about it. We don't think about what we're putting into our mouths every day, and we just take food for granted. And so he had a lot of really good things. You know, between him and Oprah, they came up with some great stuff to talk about. And I guess he has a lot of food rules. One of you know, the basic is eat. What was it? Eat. You eat. Not too much. And mostly plants. That was it. So in our case, we eat all plants since we don't eat any meat. He had, I guess he's not a vegan. He eats meat. He says not too much, but he went on this thing where he gave up meat for 6 weeks, and he went to, oh, I don't know if he went to a place that they butcher or process, you know, the process of killing the animal. And he decided, you know, if he would go see how it happened, and if he was okay with that, then he would continue to eat meat. And I guess he decided he was okay with that. And he said something very interesting about that all high schools should have, the kids should be able to go to I don't know, a slaughterhouse. That seems a little brutal, but maybe a farm where they kill a chicken, and then let the kids see what happens, what's involved in the killing of an animal, and let them make their decision whether or not they want to eat meat anymore. Right now, Paul and I eat meat, or don't eat meat at all anymore. But Justin, he does. He likes ham, of course, hot dogs, which is terrible. Chicken nuggets. But we actually give him a lot more things that aren't. I have been introducing him to more and more plant-based foods, so I'm trying to get him weaned off, and maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll take him to the farm and let him watch the process. I know when I was out at the farm and I didn't actually see a spotter, but there was this pig, and they were trying to get the pig into a trailer, and the pig knew what was happening to him. He knew he was going to the slaughterhouse, and he was screaming, and he was crying, and I could hardly take it. And apparently they had been trying for 2 hours to get him into this trailer, and I almost cried. It was just so sad. And you know, that stuck with me, and that's part of the reason why I don't want to eat meat anymore. I don't like what happens to the animals. I want to keep them. I'd rather eat all this healthy food that you can eat without having to kill any animals. So. Okay, now, so that my peppers and my onions are pretty much sauteed. So now, second step is to add half cup water and the tempeh. And I had already crumbled up, it was crumbled up tempeh, so I already crumbled my tempeh up again so that I wouldn't have to take the time to do that. And then, let's see. Okay. Again, we're going to sauteing this up. Okay, it says add the remaining half cup water and tempeh, and then we will be sauteing for 5 to 7 minutes. So again, we've got some time. Let's see what time it is. It's nice and cooked up. Anyways, I'll talk more about the Michael Pollan guy. You can look him up. He had some really interesting things to say about food. I wrote down, while this is sauteing, I wrote down And apparently this guy has a lot of different food rules. Here's a few. He says, eat only foods that have been cooked by humans. That's a good one. Don't eat anything your great-grandmother wouldn't recognize as food. Eat only foods that will eventually rot. So that's very important. That means if they're obviously fruits, vegetables, stuff like that will rot. But a Twinkie can last probably through an atomic bomb could probably go off and Twinkies would still survive because they're so laden with preservatives and crap. And then the last one he had here, don't get your fuel from the same place your car does. So basically, do not eat gas station food. It's terrible. You know, all that stuff they have hanging around. It's been sitting out all day long. The hot dog twirling on the rack. Ooh, don't eat that. Don't eat that. You know, and he talked a lot about just making your food and making it and staying present when you're making your food. And it's not, you know, some people think that cooking is just also time consuming, and yeah, it takes some time, but like everything we eat, I pretty much make, except for, you know, the fruits that we eat, stuff like that. But when Paul makes his smoothies, but you know, I always have kale salad in there. I like to have some kind of a noodle dish, like vegetable lo mein, or you know, we keep some staples, as I like to call them. You know, just soups, minestrone soup. I'd love to have that. I need to make another batch of that. Beans and rice. We always have beans and rice, and then we, you know, put that with some avocado, tomatoes, a little green chili sauce, and that's a meal. It's delicious. So yeah, I cook all the time, and I'm busy, so I can fit in. It's just a matter of what you want to do. I work for Paul. I'm on a board. I volunteer at Justin's school every Thursday, so pretty much the whole day is gone up until 3 o'clock when we get home. I'm the chairman of SEAC, the Special Education Advisory Committee, and as a matter of fact, we're getting ready to do this big potluck presentation on Tuesday. So I got a full plate. I do a lot. But I still manage to, and not to mention Justin's activities that he does. So I got a lot going on, but I figure out a way to make our meals as well. And it just doesn't take as long as you think. Because I usually make a couple of things during the week, and then on the weekends try to do like the soup, and I make cookies to have something good for us with sweet. And I make these really yummy almond cookies. Those are good. Yeah, I take the time. To make food for us. And that's the best way to get all your nutrients. Another thing that he was talking about is that everybody's so freaked out about what's in their food. Like you have to be some kind of a scientist, food, biologist or whatever. How many, amino acids, protein, all this stuff that we're so consumed with. And I think that fear part of food, not knowing, is hard for people if they want to go vegan, because then they worry about, oh my God, am I getting all the nutrients? And we went through the same thing. It's like, oh my gosh, do we get enough protein? How do we get all this protein if we're eating, we're not eating meat anymore? And you just gotta quit worrying about all that. And if you start eating all this really good food, and there's protein in more things than you realize. So, and that's what we did. We just stopped worrying about all that stuff and just started eating like this. And I'm healthier than I've ever been. So, my my doctor when I went in for my yearly in October. She's like, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. So I'm going to. Okay, so now I sauteed that. Now I'm going to add the tomato sauce, ketchup, maple syrup, vinegar, Worcestershire sauce, mustard, garlic powder. And then I'm going to cook that for 15 minutes and then it's going to be ready. So I'm doing this is the tomato sauce. Just going to do about half the can since I didn't have a 8-ounce can of that. Mix that up. It's starting to look like Sloppy Joe, especially with the tomato sauce in there. See? Look at that. Doesn't that look like, it looks like meat. It's meat, but it looks like meat, but it's not meat. Yay! Okay. Yeah, let's see, let's keep going. 2 tablespoons ketchup. And I have to shake it up. Okay, 1, 2. And 1 tablespoon of the maple syrup. Okay, 1 tablespoon apple cider vinegar. Look at Big B's now makes apple cider vinegar. We got some of that when we were down at their place. This is a local food here for us, here in Colorado. So 1 tablespoon Worcestershire. Two teaspoons mustard. Okay. Then a little bit of mustard in. Wow, this is really looking like Sloppy Joe's. Okay, I gotta turn it down to low. I've been cooking this on about medium to high up till now. Now I'm gonna let that simmer. Okay, and then it asks for half a teaspoon garlic powder, so I'm just gonna guess. Just, I can figure out a handy dandy little garlic thing here. Okay, stir that up, and then I'll put just a little bit of salt. Not too much. To just pour a little bit in my hand. Always pour in your hand. Do not, just about a teaspoon there. Okay, and that's it. And then just let that cook up for about 15 minutes, it says, and then put it on a bun. I'm going to put ours, we're going to have it on these little Rudi's, little organic Rudi's here. I like Rudi's, little buns. And that's it. And, you know, it took me 20 minutes to do this, so another 15 to cook it. See? It doesn't take that long, and voila. And there you have it. Sloppy Joes without meat. Okay, let's see here. Can you see that? Look at that. See? Yummy. All right, and I'll come back after the 15 minutes is over and put it on a bun and check it out. Okay? So, signing off. Okay, so now here we go. Here's my bun. And the Sloppy Joes are ready now. I've cooked them for their 15 minutes. And you just plop some. There we go. Look at that. Does that not look like a real Sloppy Joe or what? You know, load it on as much as you want here. Then put your little bun topping on there. Voila! Okay. So there you have it. That's Tempeh Sloppy Joes. And now, to go with the Sloppy Joes, we are going to have some home fries. And I got these little potatoes. These are this variety pack from Door to Door. And I've already cut up most of them. Finish cutting up the rest of them. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bake them. Now I don't normally use, I like to use as little oil as possible. But you got to put a little bit on these. Mainly so that the salt will stick on them and then they'll kind of crisp up a little bit and you bake them. And I've got my oven set for 375. And since we're up here in the mountains, high altitude, things take longer. So I'll do probably 30 minutes on each side. I'm going to check them. I'll keep an eye on them just to make sure everything's going all right with that oven temp. And then, but look at that's a purple. It's a purple potato. So this is going to have some variety in it. And then on my cookie sheet here, I have parchment paper, which that will keep all these from sticking. Since I'm not going to use a lot, I'm going to use some spray. I'm going to use the spray olive oil that I have here in a minute. But when you're not cooking with a lot of butters, oils, like I do these for my almond cookies as well, if you use parchment paper, you won't have, you won't be chiseling whatever you made off of the cookie sheet because it will not stick. And, you can, as long as you keep your oven within probably, 400 or less, or maybe even more. I'm not really sure about that, but I've never had a problem with parchment paper. So you just keeps everything from not sticking. Okay, so I'm going to spray. I'll use the Simple Truth Organic olive oil spray, and I'm just going to give these a little spray, not too much. That's it. Then I'm going to take my my Celtic sea salt. And sprinkle my potatoes with the Celtic sea salt. I love this stuff. Here, look. Celtic sea salt. Julie and Rich used this in all of their stuff in the Plant Power Way book. Okay, so there you have it. I'm just doing a little bit of salt, a little salt bath there. Then I will take them and put them in my oven. And I will set the timer for 30 minutes. And then then I will flip them and do probably another 30 minutes on the other side. Now I'm going to make the classic of all classic Super Bowl foods, the most common eaten food of the Super Bowl is guacamole. And this is simple, easy. Sorry about that. Easiest thing in the world to make is guacamole. And I do a few things here. I make mine very simple. I used to make it a little more complicated, but I like it this way. It's really just very simple. And all it is avocados, a little bit of lemon juice, and some cumin, and some salt. That's it. So first, and then I usually leave one or two of the pits in there just to, supposedly that keeps it from turning brown, I've heard, so, why not? I don't know if it works or not. We don't usually, our guac doesn't last very long. So. Okay, so I'm just opening up these hobbies. I'm using 5. I got 5. Okay. Get a spoon, and then I just, scoop out the avocado. Easy peasy. Take a spoon. Sorry about the doggies, but they like to bark. These are good. I got these avocados from Door to Door. They came on Tuesday. They were super duper non-ripe. But now means that it's Sunday. Perfectly ripened up. Perfect, soft guacamole texture. Paul and Justin are skiing with Vail today. It was a small champion ski day, so I don't do very well with Vail. So Polly went ahead and took Justin and did his thing at Vail, and I stayed here to, so I could make my Super Bowl snacks here. Okay, so I got it all in there. Move all these out of my way. They're going to go to compost here. My composter. Let's see. Oh, that one's a tiny little guy. Okay, so I'm going to now I take a fork, switch from a spoon to a fork, and you just, you know, mash them all up. You could use a potato masher if you want, but just use my fork. I'll leave them a little chunky, but okay, check that out. It's a nice little lumpy here and there, but mostly smooth texture. See that? Okay, now I just add, I get some lemon juice, and you can use a real lemon, but I like this pure lemon, Lakewood Organic. See? Ooh, look at that. That way, I always have lemon on hand. You know, in the summertime I use more of the real lemons because I always have them, but in the winter, now that I have some of that, I'm all good to go. And the lemon gives it a nice flavor, plus it, you know, keeps it from turning brown if that's even possible. Okay, and then I put cumin. Cumin gives it just a nice little kick. And I don't measure, I just, here we go, see my hand? I don't know, about that much. Just dump it in. Same with the salt. Just put a little on my hand, dump it in, stir it up, move that out of the way. OMG, man, this is awesome. Look at how yummy that looks. Okay, see? See? Oh, and geez, don't make your own. Do not buy the store-bought. Even the best organic ones will never come close to what you can make in your own kitchen. So tasty, so good. Paul got one day. He brought home an organic something. I can't remember the name of it. It was all nice and green. And then that's another thing, because you know how guac turns brown real fast? Anytime you buy it in the store and it's really bright green, it's like, oh, okay, really? I mean, I know they super seal it, but I still don't trust that. Okay, so let's try some out. We got a bag of quarts from Organic Tortillas from Costco. And just, you know, dip it in. Okay, I'm gonna move my. Ooh. Oh, once again, I'm screwing up my old tripod deal. Okay. All right, trying it. Yummy. Okay. So that's it. That's our Super Bowl. Our Super Bowl snacks. I will come back. I'll film Paul when he's feasting, getting ready to watch the big game, and having these really yummy homemade vegan plant-powered way, not plant-powered way, but plantitarian style foods. All right. Signing off.